Sanibonani and welcome to another edition of Trendz live on SABC News Channel 404. I'm your host, Nkosazana Dambuza Makuba. As usual, we never disappoint. Tonight we're talking about all things travel, arts, culture, music and fashion. We keep you in the loop about all things trendy and of course those that you just cannot miss. Hit us up on X at Trendz on SABC. We'd love to hear from you. Now we start with this story tonight. The BK Arena in Kigali, Rwanda hosted over 60 African artists to celebrate the best musicians on the continent. The night was filled with contemporary rhythms and vibes from all corners of Africa. Selepe Maifadi caught up with those who were in attendance and here's what they had to say.
The best in the game are out here, right here in Kigali, to celebrate music, authenticity, creativity, and the beautifulness that is, of course, African music. We're here to celebrate with them, and I'm here to obviously give you the lowdown and celebrate all those that are winning all these categories. You don't want to miss it, but Trendy, you know, I always got you. So we're here to celebrate the best in African talent, music. Why is it? And you're always someone who's always under doing the ones and twos and showcasing the best in music. What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to a wide variety of African music.
Yeah.
We're celebrating African music. We're celebrating excellence. Yeah. We're celebrating top performers in those categories. We're here to collect awards on people's behalf who are not here or who are being excellent wherever they are. So, we're here to celebrate and we're here to collect.
Who are you rooting for?
Everyone who's South African, everyone who's worked hard, everyone who's nominated. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for my industry friends, my colleagues. Robot Boys out here, KO and Blackie are performing. I think I saw Kabza and Pori nominated somewhere. So those are my industry colleagues and I'm here to celebrate them.
Yeah, I've been following African music for a while now and I'm so excited to see this. I think it's by time we come together and unite like this, and I'd love to see more of this happen. You know, it's time for Africa right now. And I feel very blessed to be here. And yeah, man, just excited.
So it's a big night for creativity and celebrating music. Who are you rooting for tonight?
Definitely Rema. I really enjoy his music, but also there are a lot of up-and-coming Rwandan artists a lot of them are nominated tonight, so I'm really excited for them to have a global stage to present their art to the world.
This is the very first Trace Awards happening in 2023, and some of us are honored enough to be the first nominees. And of course, we had big moments. Set there.
Male?
Yeah. It's quite an honor just being here, and especially after so many years. And you know what I mean. We're still getting these type of recognitions. It's crazy.
It's a big one because then it basically says you are the best in the continent if you get to win best male. What's that feeling like? Surely you're doing something right. Is it another step to say, actually I am the boss?
Yeah, to me, I think more than anything, just being nominated in that category amongst others, of course, that are like, some of the blockbuster ones. I think that pool, it's a very star-studded. There's Burna, there's The Beatles, there's Rayma, Asake, all these other guys have been crazy, and then boom, KO is in there. It's crazy. But I think for me, just a nod is enough. And if they decide to give me the trophy as well, I'll obviously receive it with both hands and feet. But yeah, I'm just happy. God has been great in my life for so many years, and may He continue doing the same for not only me but for South African music as a whole.
I'm nominated for a dance category. So it's like being acknowledged is also a cool thing because I'm not just representing me, I'm representing South Africa, and everybody back home, like from all the other dancers I've been dancing with from different studios to the small boy that's watching, thinking one day I can also start dancing and be nominated at like a Trace Award. It's very amazing.
I know I'm representing for Africa, I'm representing for East Africa, I'm representing for my country. country, Uganda, Kampala. So yes, it's a good opportunity, and I'm so humbled. And even if I don't win tonight, I already feel like a winner, you know, being part of, you know, such great artists. And you can see the energy around here. I just feel so, you know, blessed enough.
It is a blessing to be here celebrating Trendz and celebrating Africa. I got a chance to be nominated and represent my country, Uganda, in the category of Best Gospel Artist of the Year. And also I'm performing tonight. You know, I can't wait to preach the gospel to the whole world.
I'm so excited to represent South Africa, man, my home.
And there's so many other artists that are nominated in the same category as you that respect you so much. What is your take on how people feel that you're one of the trailblazers that opened the doors to kickstarting and making this genre as strong as it is in the continent?
It's crazy, you know, for me to just come here and actually meet with some Ugandan guys, and they say, we look up to you. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, you guys follow my music? And they say, we look up to you. And then some of them are in the same category that I'm actually nominated in. And they were just saying, even if you win, we are all winning. You know?
Congratulations to the nominees, and to whosoever that is not going to get it. I'm saying congratulations also to them, because they are the best. Even if you're not going to get an award, you need to understand, just for you to get that nominee, it shows that you are amazing.
Dash, obviously, we know for your dad was very prolific in the space of Kwaito music. How do you feel about the fact that finally platforms like this are coming out and really giving more light to other categories and genres of music?
I think it's dope, man, and more especially for us, because piano, you know, piano to Africa, piano to the world. So it's dope for Trendz to recognize talents from all over Africa, and also giving chance to like new genres and stuff. You know what I mean? I think it's dope. It's beautiful.
What inspired you to create these awards?
It's very simple. The excellence of African music and the fact that all music of black region have got one origin, this is Africa. And there was no event like this. You will have different regional event, awards, but bring all these people, all this diversity, this richness of African music in one place. This didn't exist. We wanted to make it happen. This is tonight the first time ever, not the last one. Why
Rwanda? Why not South Africa?
You're right, it could have been South Africa, but in fact, Rwanda came to us. They said, look, we want to make Kigali a cultural hub. We like to organize a big music event. We believe that you are the best partner, and we discussed and we agreed on terms. So we are business people. On top of that, they've got great infrastructure.
Our country is small, but we dream big, right? So Trendz coming here, I think it's because they recognize our openness to work with other people, and because we're trying to expand as a country, grow as a country. It's quite small, but we're on the come up. So yes, I'm very excited that it's happening here in Rwanda.
Apparently, it's the first time they host a big event like this. So they're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna take something back home from the different countries, different artists. It's a blessing to us.
I think it just says a lot about the future of Africa, you know, and I think it's about time that we actually just become comfortable enough to like constantly move around the continent and just exchange the energy and exchange the vision and uplift ourselves, because we can't wait for the world to actually come and shine the light on us. We can only take ourselves, you know, to the world, or at least, you know, build this camaraderie amongst each other as Africans and take each other to the world.
Well, there you have it. Okay, so obviously Davido's performing, right? Can you give us a what's cooking?
Guys, Davido's going to be shutting it down inside there. I hope you're ready to see the show, guys.
Yes. As part of the many great activities that are taking place at this festival and awards is a concert, of course. And obviously we can't have a concert without the Soweto Gospel Choir. I mean, what do you mean? And they're here with us.
Yes, in the house in Rwanda. We are so happy to be here.
Yes.
We're going to be having a concert with Benjamin Dube tomorrow. And tonight we are performing with Mr. Easy.
Wow.
So please, guys, watch out. It's going to be a great show.
How did that partnership come about, Mr. Easy? Soweto Gospel Choir. Who tlile yang?
Waiting one yesu. Kauri Soweto Gospel Choir ibina ka dilangwe tse ngata wa bona. So Mr. Easy I think o khaletse sithuse sa rona wa bona. Baba boom ele wa bona. So yeah, akupa collaboration wa bona. So we sing in isiZulu. And our other African languages, Marena ubina ka Sikhuwa. So Nigeria versus South Africa. Yaba bomb.
I think we need a tutorial, another one again of how to do this thing. Mara. Yeah, all right.
Ready.
Okay, get ready.
Right,
Right,
left,
left.
head, body. And then I get a salary ching, get the chankuras. And then
No.
life cover,
No.
medical aid, body charge.
Honestly, what do you need? For real.
Sanbonani, this is KO, Mr. Cash Time, all the way from South Africa. And right now you're watching Trendz live. Let's get it.
Refer for monyana mo about what's gonna be happening. Kore ngfeng bye nyana ya sang.
No,
Okay. Wathinta thina, wathinta bangasokusa. Sapa saphenduka ishebo.
Wathinta thina, wathinta bangasokusa. Sapa saphenduka ishebo.
Wathinta thina,
Wathinta thina,
wathinta thina.
Sapa saphenduka ishebo. Kwanyaka simkhonto wenkonyane kathaba.
Konyane kantha.
Kwanyaka simkhonto wenkonyane kathaba. Wenkonyane kathaba.
Konyane kantha.
Kwanyaka simkhonto wenkonyane kathaba.
Konyane kantha.
Kwanyaka simkhonto wenkonyane kathaba.
Wow, but trendy. Hey, but trendy like you, I'm always there for you. Look, Filipino free concert. They learn to go high there.
Yeah,
Keep it locked to Trendz Live. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Flying kites becomes a colourful expression of freedom, creativity and joy. With each kite soaring high, dreams take flight, painting the heavens with vibrant hues of hope and imagination. As we round off Mental Health Awareness Month, we explore some fundamental aspects of the illness. And believe it or not, kite flying becomes part of mental illness therapy. Don't miss this elevating information after the break. Mental health awareness is an often misunderstood subject, and this October, Cape Mental Health is yet again inspiring communities to soar high by flying kites, raising awareness for mental health. In our Cape Town studio, we are joined by Dr. Ingrid Daniels, the CEO of Cape Mental Health, who's also involved in the Cape Town Kite Festival, taking place this Sunday, which promises to be an elevating and fun family outing. Thanks for joining us at Trendz, Dr. Daniels. Now, I'm going to go straight into it. What are some of the red flags to look out for when trying to spot mental illness in someone?
Good evening, Kusazan, and all the Trend viewers this evening. Some interesting warning signs to look out for could be a drastic change in sleeping and eating, such as early morning wakening or difficulty falling asleep or oversleeping. The other symptom that people may have could be loss of weight or overeating. Some people may experience changes in their mood. They may also find that they're more anxious and nervous than usual. And sometimes anxiety and nervousness is out of context. Some people will see a fall off in their everyday functioning. So you may find a learner who's done exceptionally well at school suddenly seeing the grades drop, or finding difficulty in the employment environment. Some people may find thought processes being disturbed. They may also experience psychomotor agitation and the sense and feeling of being extremely overwhelmed or disconnected from everyday life. We have to understand that mental illness is very complex, and for each diagnosis there are specific symptoms. However, if you experience several of the symptoms that I've identified, it's very important that you seek help. There is help available, and the sooner we can intervene, the better the mental health outcomes for persons.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that important information. Now, let's talk about the Cape Town Kite Festival. How will it assist in tackling mental health?
Well, the Kite Festival is annually held during Mental Health Awareness Month. And as you know, this year the theme for Mental Health Awareness Month has been mental health is a universal human right. So not only the human rights of persons with a lived experience to access mental health services and have good mental health, but for every one of us to have good mental health. And the Kite Festival during the month of the Mental Health Awareness Month is an amazing opportunity for us to normalize the conversations around mental health, mental well-being, and mental health conditions specifically. It's a wonderful opportunity to change the narrative, to have these conversations, to have the dialogue. Mental health is of critical importance for all of us, including the way we function, the way we think, the way we behave, and the way we react to challenges and often adversities in our life.
Indeed. Now, letting your spirit soar with a kite is therapeutic. Oh, wow, I can only imagine. But how is this achieved through flying a kite?
Well, kite flying is absolutely amazing. It's therapeutic. First of all, if you make a kite, that in itself is therapeutic as you let your creativity really present itself. But kite flying, you know, when you fly a kite, you have to look up. And you're anchored by that kite string. And there's a wonderful narrative around kite flying, which is kites soar against adverse winds. And you know, when we face adversity, when we go through life's challenges, that symbolism of the kite just soaring against the difficulties and the challenges gives back hope. It gives us back the encouragement to know that despite the difficulties, there's help, there's support, and people can be assisted during difficult times. And kite flying is absolutely amazing because you're out in the open, you're gathering with others, you're watching the display of kites across the skyline, and it's just amazing and wonderful for your mental health.
I love it, Dr. Ingrid. I think I'm actually going to try it. Oh, it sounds so beautiful. Now, how should the public be more sensitive to people who are struggling with mental health issues?
I think it's really very important that we are alert, that we are aware, and that we are sensitive to people living with a mental health condition. You know, often the biggest barrier and challenge that people face with a mental health condition is society's negative attitudes towards them. It's a huge barrier, and often it's a barrier to seek help as well. We can all play such an important role to look after our own mental health first of all, but to be sensitive, caring and understanding and supportive to those who are experiencing difficulty. You know, mental health conditions are very prevalent. Any one of us can be affected at any stage of our lives, and therefore so important that we therefore are supportive and caring to others, but also encouraging people to seek help at the same time.
I love that so much. Now tell us what the pop-up fly event promises and why we can't miss it.
You have to come down to Cape Town to see this array and adornment of kites. So on the 29th of October, which is this Sunday, from 10 until 3 o'clock, we'll have the Cape Town Kite Festival pop-up fly. It's going to be spectacular with Table Mountain as the backdrop and the beautiful ocean along Melkbos Strand. You will see kiters coming out and flying massive show kites, beautifully decorating the sky. And as you know, the theme this year is the sky is your canvas, and this canvas will be filled with beautiful kites, messages of hope. It's time for us to dream again. It's time for us to know, you know, that we can move through difficulties and we can get support and help.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and it sounds like it's going to be an amazing time. So for everybody who's in Cape Town, you better get down there. Well, let the winds of October carry us towards a brighter future filled with compassion and mental well-being. All the best, and keep up with this good work and initiative. Mental Health Awareness Month, and the objective thereof is not only aimed at educating the public about mental health, but also at reducing the stigma and discrimination that people with mental illness are often subjected to. But did you know that finding the right therapy for your needs can make a difference? Show producer Asanda Zondi experienced the Energy Enhancement System therapy, which provides therapy for people suffering with anxiety, depression, physical pains and other illnesses.
Energy healing is a professional alternative and complementary therapy for those who are looking to achieve their optimum health in a holistic way. Now, here in South Africa is the new amazing Energy Enhancement System, which allows cells regeneration, improve immune function, elevate moods, and many other benefits.
The Energy Enhancement System was invented by Dr. Rose Michael, and it charges the electrical cells in your body. So you are a magnetic electrical person. We're sitting in the sun is electrical, our feet are on the ground, it's magnetic, so it comes together. You go into the room, you sit down on a comfortable recliner, and within 10 minutes you'll be asleep or you'll go into a meditative state, and your bodies will be charged and vibrate.
Jenny, you mentioned sitting on the chair for this session and going deep into sleep. What causes that?
Behind every screen is a computer with software, and it's just causing people to relax. I also have background singing bowl music, so people just relax, and it balances the body. That's the key. It balances the hemispheres of the brain, and that is what people are lacking today. They're too much in their sympathetic nervous system, running, fighting, running away from tigers, and they don't sleep properly. At night, you have to go into your parasympathetic nervous system, relax, digest, repair, and rebuild. So when you go into this relaxed state, that's when the magic happens.
If I am diagnosed with cancer and I come for this Energy Enhancement System therapy, can I heal?
The very first thing that you're going to do is when you sit down, you're going to form an intention. For example, I am perfect health. And you sit down, you put the intention into your mind. You sit down, you relax, and you have faith, and you hand it over. Those cells, the power that created you, will heal you. Those cells will vibrate at a higher frequency, and the cells that are not healthy will be taken over. They'll be pushed out.
I've seen my niece, who's 8, she just turned 9, being restored, like, when a child comes from radiation where she couldn't walk, she was on a nappy, she was vomiting, she couldn't eat, and after a session, a 2-hour session, she started eating well. She is now able to walk, she's bubbly, she's happy, and she's always asking me, when am I going back again? So this attests to the system.
So there's, if you know, there's color therapy, there's sound therapy, there's subliminally these mantras and affirmations, like I'm created by the divine, I'm surrounded by the divine, I'm protected by the divine. All those are going subliminally into your body as well, because that's all built in there.
So how long does a typical session last?
You can come for an hour or more. I encourage people to come for 2 hours, because I find the 2 hours gives people a chance to go into a complete REM state, and then when completely relaxed, this is where the body performs its magic. Okay. So I've got lots of sportsmen that come because they want to improve their performance. I've got elderly people who are suffering from memory problems and that, and they're so happy because they say that suddenly they're remembering, and it's just the body balancing itself.
Every individual experience is unique depending on what the body feels it needs to heal first. These are testimonials from others who have used the Energy Enhancement System.
The first time when I came here, I had an inflamed prostate. And this is a common problem for most men, probably of my age or over 40. It's a problem that when you get to that level, you have irregular urination at night. I used to wake up at least 7 times at night to go urinate. It affected my manhood and fatigue. It was very stressful. I had this problem for quite a number of years, and I've been treating it for about just over a year, using a prostate care pills. But after the first session, the first 2-hour session, I slept very well. I only went to the bathroom in the morning and I was not that pressed. I was able to empty my bladder without any problems. But most importantly, everything in my body was rejuvenated.
The very first thing that I've noticed is how my energy levels are enhanced every time I visit the system. And I'll wake up in the morning and it feels like the cells in my body is just buzzing with energy, and that lasts for a couple of days, So I haven't gone for a checkup yet, so I'm not sure how that is enhancing, my health. But I can tell you from a mental and an energetic, point of view and well-being, I feel amazing.
We've got lots more exciting content on the other side of this. Don't go anywhere. This restaurant month, we've celebrated World Food Day, International Chef's Day and Garden Day, just to mention a few. All this in celebration of the cookery skills and the passion cooks include in their every dish. We continue to drink a toast to extraordinary dining at different restaurants. This week, we treated our palates to a gastronomic experience with some garden-to-table delectables at the Culinary table in Lanseria.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that this is a warehouse, when in fact is a restaurant. The beauty of this dining spot is hidden behind this retail space, encapsulating a foodie destination. As you step outside, you are greeted by a beautiful organic aroma from the garden.
Culinary table was established in 2013. And it was basically to bring the highest possible quality of ingredients that chefs would choose into an environment that was extremely accessible to everyday diners. So Culinary Table's food philosophy is freshness, high quality, and an ever-changing menu. But that's also quite casual in a way that we have diners that come almost every day and they don't get bored of the menu, they don't find that it's out of price range, they are quite comfortable in this environment, and we love that.
Tell us a bit about your garden. How did that come about, and also what inspired the idea of saying, you know what, from the garden straight to the table?
To the food. So the garden around us is actually designed very similarly on my parents' kitchen garden at home, and that was an environment where obviously fundamental lessons were learned in the kitchen and in the processing of vegetables. So I grew up as that weird kid with strange things in her lunchbox, basil pesto, which we had literally harvested fresh and processed as a family, and that was our weekend activity. That was fun for us. We'd make lasagna and we'd bottle them and preserve them and save them for later. So from a young age, food and taking cognizance of how long something takes to grow, the appreciation of every step before it even lands up as an ingredient, really. Converting it from something almost unrecognizable in a garden to something that's totally edible is quite honestly just something that I've grown up with. So it's a passion, really, more than anything else.
Not everything you enjoy on your meal may come straight from this garden, but definitely each dish has an ingredient from it.
So I like to reflect the surroundings and the season in the food that we prepare. So we've had an ever-changing menu from the start. Call it a compulsive need to change or whatever the case may be, but the garden is our absolute pivot point. So I like to prioritize an ingredient that we can harvest from the garden, even if it's something basic like a carrot or an onion. If they are available from the garden and we have a use for them in the kitchen, that takes precedent. So we will always make a preference for what we can harvest or what we can even source from a trusted and known farmer that's doing something very similar in a sustainable fashion. So even something simple that you might overlook, like a garnish, has been grown in the garden. You know, that sprig of coriander that freshens up the curry at the, just before plating, is actually something that we've intentionally grown and cultivated. We make sure that it's fresh and that it gets used basically on the same day that it's harvested. And that for me is everything, because it just tastes so much better. You really can taste it in the food, and that's important.
Okay, and tell us about your different menus. You just said your menus change every week.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so look, I mean, it's not a complete overhaul, and like I said, we've got regular customers, so there are favorites on our menu that keep people coming back, and we like to keep those consistent. However, there are abundances and scarcities that take place in nature, and so we mirror that with the menu. I'd say that about 60% of the menu gets refreshed, and then we have about a 40% staple. So again, we like to offer things that are quite accessible to people. Something wholesome like a burger or a lovely curry really hits the spot, and so those are your regular contenders. But then, for example, we'll have proteins, and I also like to offer a nice variety. So we have a selection of proteins that are available on the menu, and then the accompaniments and the sauces are completely refreshed on a weekly basis. And simplicity is key for me. I mean, I strive towards simplicity with great effort, and I don't believe that it's actually easy to obtain. Sometimes you have to try and harness the essence of ingredients rather than try and overcomplicate things. So we definitely have a much more simple approach to food. The less you have to do to something, the better. And in that way, people can appreciate whole food, they can appreciate things as close to the origin that they started as possible, and then have the guaranteed freshness of things being grown in their surroundings whilst they're eating it.
Well, their dessert menu and drinks are also inspired by the garden.
Because again, with organic produce and things that you grow, you learn to appreciate that there's more than just the fruit on a tree or the root of the vegetable itself that you're growing, that there are carrot tops that are totally edible, and then there are blossoms from plants that are also edible, and maybe the lesser known things can in some way contribute towards a flavor component. And I feel like mixology and pastry are two areas where the extraction of flavor is really prominent in the processing that you would use. So things like creating syrups, doing quick fermentations, incorporating an ingredient that's basically in its essence, a flour that you shake into a cocktail is really exactly mind-blowing. I mean, the reaction on your face tells me exactly that. So, we don't take that for granted. So things like geranium, it's used as a companion plant, for example, as a pest deterrent in the garden. But it's got this incredible herbaceous flavor. It's almost marshmallowy in a way, and it's an incredible botanical that's edible and delicious.
Truly, when you have passion for food like myself, you will enjoy every little detail and flavorsome ingredient.
Going on a short holiday getaway is always refreshing, and whether the outing is for rejuvenation or adventure, it's always a treat. Mount Grace lies amidst beautiful mountainous Magaliesberg, just outside of Jozi. It's the perfect hidden gem, accommodating both delicious cuisine and revitalizing activities and relaxation. Didi Mokoleti joined a group of holiday revelers to discover this extraordinary spectacle.
Arriving in style and inhaling the enchanting fresh breeze of nature. This away from the hustle and bustle of busy Jozi city life. Welcome to a place where luxury and leisure are inseparable. Now here's a question. What informs your decision to choose your next holiday destination? Well, here are some tips to help you.
I think the things that you need to look at before you go on your getaway is looking at understanding what it is that you're wanting out from your getaway. Do you want the peace and quiet? Do you want activity? Do you want nightlife? If the answer is you want to get away for some rejuvenation, some relaxation, a little bit of activity possibly, we've got cycling trails, we've got running trails, we've got walking trails up to 12 kilometers in length. So if you want to get out and take a walk, you can do that. You can play tennis on the resort.
The serenity here is adorned by being in the bush, surrounded by nature's tranquility. What started as a small country hotel, this establishment now prides itself with accommodation which suits all types of getaway excursions. You're even spoiled for choice, with some rooms tucked away in the trees and bushes.
The accommodation at Mount Grace is very special. How is it home away from home?
I think the accommodation at Mount Grace is home away from home because of both the physical nature of the rooms and the quality and the way in which the rooms are configured. I mean, the suite that we're sitting on the balcony here, we've got 12 of these with their own private pools. It's a heated pool. We've got another 14 deluxe rooms that also have their own private pools tucked away in the surrounding bush. So when you're in your room, you're in your own little sort of haven, your own little cocoon. I think it just lends itself to whatever season it is. In winter, we've got fireplaces all over the public areas, so you can go and cozy up with a book, either in the bar or on the stoep. It's just a nice place to be in winter, and in summer it's just glorious. The sun is out, it's warm, it's green, it's lush.
Did you know that you can enjoy a picnic on any of the open lawns on the premises? Now that allows for a quiet feast. From fine wining and dining, their restaurants serve just what your tummy wishes to order.
From a food and beverage point of view, we've got two main restaurants on the resort. We've got Twist, which is our breakfast and dinner buffet restaurant, where we offer a wide variety of dishes that are changed on a regular basis to keep them seasonal and also to avoid becoming boring and mundane. We've then got Rambling Vine Restaurant, which is our a la carte restaurant, ideal for romantic dinners, special occasions, that type of thing. We then have the Stoep and Terrace, which is more of a sort of fun, more of an a la carte, all-day dining type environment. Nice out there under the trees, listening to the birds, having a cocktail, a light meal.
This is a beautiful, beautiful place to come and just escape the burdens of reality. We're nestled within the trees of the Mukheli's bushes. There's a flotation pool at the Mount Spa. It is absolutely exquisite.
The fact that it is super accessible, very close to Johannesburg, and it's outdoors. There's so much to do here. The hiking, being able to be around the excellence in service. I think it's a showcase of the absolute best that South Africa has to offer in this particular industry.
Being born and bred in Johannesburg, we all get caught up with the hustle and bustle. It's just so extreme. So being out here in a peaceful environment, it brings just so much serenity and so much to reconnect with yourself. I really love this place.
Chill time is crucial on any rejuvenating escapade, and a visit to a spa that exudes opulence is often just what the body needs to unwind and relax.
Most of us go to the spa for a time of relaxation, serenity, and just getting in touch with your inner self. How is coming to this spa a holistic approach to wellness?
Spa offer pure relaxation. We offer various treatments ranging from full body massages, body wraps, body exfoliations, and facials. And we also do have spa facilities that you can also incorporate into your visit at our spa to make sure that you leave here rejuvenated and relaxed.
What are some of the packages that we can indulge in?
So some of the packages that we have in the spa, our most popular package is called the Ultimate Romantic Package, which comes with 3 different treatments, which are mostly body treatments. So our lunch menu include items like your chicken Caesar salad, your cheese boards. We also have tree of quiche. We also have got scones, and we also do have a heated outdoor jacuzzi that you can also use in conjunction with the rock pool. So that would be the therapy of using hot and cold water, which also helps with circulation. We also have a steam room, which also assists with circulation as well and relaxation. And we also have the infinity room flow pool. At our spa, we have a flotation pool, which is salt content, so it will make you float on top of the water. So being in there for 30 minutes is equivalent to 4 hours of sleep. That's how relaxing it is.
I just think people need to be aware of this little secret, this little gem that we have hidden here in Mukheli'sburg, and if we can unlock that knowledge, I think you'll have very many happy local tourists.
I love your love.
This tucked away hotel is definitely a bucket list destination, which certainly leaves you feeling restored and rejuvenated.
It's time to take a quick break. I'll see you on the other side of this. Stick around. Art is often used as celebration of heritage through the lens, and that's why a conducive workspace is required for various artistic expressions. Well, brothers and artists Fhatuwani and Justice Mukheli recently opened their latest venture, Studio Mukheli. The studio represents a new chapter in their artistic journey, serving as a creative sanctuary, allowing them to work both independently and collaboratively. Trendz visited them to explore this creative space at 44 Stanley in Joburg. Let's get more.
A brand new studio for a fresh artistic journey. This space marks an ideal location for the Mukheli twin brothers to create magic through art. Fhatuwani, what does art mean to you and what does it represent?
Art means to me freedom. Being able to express myself freely with no rules. And being a child, you know, being connected to what I used to like as a kid. I'm playing around with a few mediums, but these are mediums I've always played with. Charcoal, acrylic, and ink in markers. Where I'm at is I'm trying to master cross-hatching in a way that it can be seen as a style that you can define me with. My art has been a journey, and where I am at the moment with my art is portraying the strength of a woman, purely because I was raised by a single parent. And as a man that I am, and I present strong and muscular, I come from a woman who taught me kindness, who taught me the power of being soft. And I want my work to represent this strength.
They are a dynamic duo. Their artistic inspiration stems from observing their father draw a portrait of the three of them. At only age 7, the portrait turned them into boys that enjoyed anything that required creativity on and off the school grounds.
I'm a film director, photographer, and painter, amongst other mediums I use for my art. My work mostly centers around the Black experience. In my painting, I explore spirituality, sexuality, and gender issues because we are the generation that's blessed to be able to look at that from a different point of view. I use the medium of oil, and because I do figuration and portraiture, it helps me tap into my imagination or my dreams or the message I need to convey onto the canvas in a way that I somewhat saw it in my dreams or it came to me. I'm exploring the other side, you know, the other realm or the spiritual realm.
Honing their craft was not easy, but having dyslexia turned into pure serendipity for the artistic duo.
My brother and I were born with dyslexia, and for long we didn't know it was dyslexia because, you know, we'd want to read books and you get to the third page and you forgot what you read on the first page, and you'd write notes, and when you read the notes it's completely gibberish somehow, you know. And being at schools where they didn't understand our condition and the dyslexia we were dealing with, we were made to feel stupid. But having each other was a big blessing.
How is this the perfect space for you as brothers to work in?
Our space is a safe space for our personal expressions. It's a safe space for us to be able to work and commit time realistically to explore or build into the works that we are doing. It's not open to everyone every day, but like we had an open studio where we felt that it would be nice for our audience and people to come engage with the work in a more personal level beyond just social media. We feel that sometimes art can be over-intellectualized and sometimes art should just be democratized and opened up for people to just engage without all the intellectual baggage behind it, you know?
Seeing their work it's like a trajectory of where they come from, and to see it finish, it's like seeing the final piece, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I've known these guys for over 20 years, and we grew up together. We grew up with Soweto, and it's just having common interests. That's how we met. This is the hangout spot where we just, beyond art itself, this is where we just hang and just do and then homonati, and then through that, that's where we build. That's where now you'll see the end product of our works, but it's a culmination of that, and this is the mecca for that.
And of course, their artistry in this space is a unique celebration of various cultures and heritage.
My work screams African, you know, and it's what I am, and what I paint is what I've lived, what I've experienced, and this is a part of our heritage, you know, like my culture. So my work says heritage without it being forced to.
And I think the importance of culture for me in that regard is being able to archive those memories, being able to contribute our stories that are personal, that are layered and textured in mediums that predominantly celebrated whiteness, but now we are able to take those mediums and center ourselves and center our stories and celebrate them with the same dignity, with the same honor, with the same craft and beauty that we grew up seeing. Everyone has the capacity to be what they wish to be. It's just work within reason and consistency away. That's the only thing you need to do.
Studio Mukheli. Now that's an artistic fountain to draw knowledge and creative aspirations from.
City Sightseeing and Soweto held an exclusive stakeholder and media day event where new routes and stops were announced. At the heart of this event is the unveiling of the new FNB Stadium Hall of Fame exhibition, representing an important expansion in Gauteng's tourism experience. Trendz Live Asanda Zondi was there to witness this celebration. Check this out.
City Sightseeing and Soweto, renowned leaders in the transportation and tourism industry, hosted an event at the prestigious FNB Stadium. This event marks a significant moment in the journey of transformation and growth, highlighting new routes and bus stops. On the way to the main event, we went on an exciting and thrilling city tour that captures every element and landscape that leaves one in awe of the magnificent city of gold.
So what we're basically doing today is that since the pandemic, we decided to restructure our routes and create something different from our customers. Because we're still saying the customer that we had pre-pandemic can come back again with new offerings. So between stop 2 and stop 4, which is Melrose Arc, Mandela Foundation, Mandela Sanctuary, and the house that he stayed with, Grasham Masham. Those are the new elements we've added into the route when it comes down to the early part of the route. If you look at, since we've had the Joburg gas explosion, we've had to redivert the route again. So now, when we go through Bromfontein, we actually get into the double-decker highway and drive on top of the highway, and then we can see the whole city of Johannesburg to our left, which is really, really nice picture-rate moment for our customers to be able to take pictures on. Then when you arrive at Gold Reef City, you hop into the Soweto bus, right? As you can see, the Soweto bus is not the double-decker bus. It's a lot smaller. It's a lot more, like I said, we call it Basi Sigi Pigo because you can literally put your arm out or shower more. Yeah? When you get into Soweto, our first stop en route to Soweto is Soccer City. And within Soccer City, you find this amazing gem called the Hall of Fame.
Out of all 3 new routes we explored, the one that is on the spotlight is the South Africa's Hall of Fame exhibition, which aims to celebrate and educate tourists about Mzansi's sports legends.
Yeah, we portray all the South African Hall of Famers that have been inducted into the South African Hall of Fame, the achievements they've had. So we celebrate these people that have been inducted so that we can inspire our youth and so that we can empower them to holistically reach their full potential.
So within the Hall of Fame, we tell the story of all the great Jogeri players, your baby chick Matalas and everything else. And it's also got quite a nice interactive space into it, so you can literally put on VR classes and you're literally almost like surfboarding and things like that. So it gives you a little touch point of the history of all the great players, but also something great for the young kids to be able to interact with.
It's my first time being in the Hall of Fame, and I have to say it's mind-blowing. Going around the room and just searching the place, it's just so, man, it's very inspiring. I mean, you see all these amazing athletes, our stars who, you know, open ways and path and created path for other people who are coming, you know, making their way through. I mean, with the fact that Springbok is playing right now, places like Hall of Fame, they play a big part, because then in 20 years, we're going to forget these moments. But guess what? You come back here and you see all of that.
It's part of what brand South Africa and destination Gauteng as part of the main gateway to the rest of the country is all about. So it's not just the experience. Part of our experience is intertwined with the people. And the Hall of Fame is an epitome of the toils and jubilation that our people as stars in their own right went through.
Out of all the days, you choose today to actually introduce the new routes? Is it because October is Transport Month, or there's a World Cup taking place? Why now?
Tourism, transport and sports. What a combination, and a combination that truly represents South Africa and is offering its people, its facilities, its infrastructure, and it doesn't get bigger than that.
What happens in tourism is that you have an off-season, which is called, you have an on-season and off-season. So there's peak season. So our brochures usually start from the 1st of October till the end of March. End of April. That is our peak season. Then your winter season, which is your off-peak, starts from May up until the end of until the end of September. That's our off-season. So we're changing our brochures. We're adding our different values. We changed the routes 3-4 times in the last year, but we've actually finally concretely found a route that actually works for us, and hence reason we're launching it within Tourism Month. But because you must remember, we're not just a tourism company, we're a transport company. We transport people from one place to another.
Springboks, and they're playing tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Words of encouragement for the boys.
Oh my goodness, the boys have been doing so well. I mean, last time they played with France, England, I almost had a heart attack. But I'm ready to go through another one, because what they've put forth, what they're trying to do, they're putting us on the global map yet again. This is not our first cup that we're going to win, because we're definitely taking it. So I'm very excited. I want them to know that we love them, and they've made us so proud.
They represent the tenacity of their country. They are the energy, the zeal and the enthusiasm that is part of the DNA of this country. Win or lose, they have our hearts, they have us in our minds.
The Boks must go, they must do it. They must just not keep us as nervous as the last 2 games, but go Boks.
Thanks so much for joining us on the show. Such a great time as always. Catch us again next week, Friday at 8 p.m. only on SABC News Channel 404. Now, I hope you have lots of fun this weekend as we back the Springboks in the Rugby World Cup final. Do cheer your hearts out, South Africa, because I have a feeling the boys will bring home the Webb Ellis Trophy once again. Good night and God bless.